So I'm going to fix the oil leak on this Zuma. It's not so much a leak as it is a seal problem. So the oil sensor that sits on top of the tank, real problem on these, it comes loose, or it doesn't come loose, it just doesn't seal anymore. So as opposed to buying a new sensor, which is critical for these because they inject oil, everybody seems to just buy a tube of oil resistant RTV, and they just do their best to go around it, and they call it good. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I've already loosened these Allens. So the long one goes in the front and the short ones go in the back, and I've already loosened them, so I'm going to take that off. So took the little mat that goes around here off, and now I'm going to take this fender off, and then I should be able to see how that tank comes off, or comes out, or whatever I need to get to it. You got to take both these caps off, obviously, to get this tray out. And yeah, so here we go. Now I'm going to take out, there's a Phillips down here, and I see one over here, and there's probably one down below too that I need to take out. So I just discovered you got to take this off to get to this screw right here. So you take the little body molding, there's two screws, there's one right here and right here, one on each side. Easy to see. So as you can tell, my son, he's just been keeping it below the sensor, so you can see how much blue is in there. I think you can. It's kind of dark in here, but if you leave it at that level, you know, that's plenty for, sorry about the screaming kid, he's having a hard time across the street. Not sure why. I think he's trying to play with his older brother, and he ain't being nice to him. Alright, so disconnected the sensor and loosened this 10 millimeter here and this 10 millimeter here, and this is also a 10. That's probably a 10 as well, because this has got to come out of the way, because there's definitely not enough clearance for this to slide out unless this is out of the way. So gonna have to drop this down, and I think it'll be this bolt on the other side, just like it, same exact spot. Get that drop down and go from there. Okay, so I don't think I needed to take this off, but it made it easier. So bolt here, plug here, bolt here, and now this thing sags, so I'm home free there. I went ahead and took off this side, trying to trace the small oil line that goes from it down there. Didn't really find it, but still working on how I'm going to empty this. I disconnected it here, thinking I'd slide it off and then try to get a turkey baster down in there, but I think it goes too deep, but we'll see. Maybe I can get it tilted out and tipped. We'll see, and I'll let you know. Yeah, it's going to work perfect. So just by pulling the rubber hose off of the neck here, I got considerable sag, so I could easily tilt this and empty it now. So I think I've had a change of heart. I'm not going to take this out or empty the oil. I just wanted to film this. This is the orientation of the sensor before I start. It's kind of dirty there, but I am going to just clean it up right there, and I'm going to put the RTV. I have plenty of access there. No reason to make this harder than I have already made it, so that's what I'm going to do. Just clean the crap out of it, clean it all up, get some dish soap, and clean around it, and I'm going to clean it up real good so I can get a good seal on that RTV, and we're going to call it good. I'm going to go there. So hopefully you can see that I have rammed a piece of foam in there to keep any of the soapy water from getting inside the tank, because I don't want that. So I'm going to clean carefully around there, and then I will clean the actual lip with paper towel. I'm not going to use, but I have a toothbrush, going to get some soapy water and clean all this gunk off, make it look really good. So my dish soap wasn't working worth a dang, so I opted to use my brake cleaner. This stuff's cheap, and man, it cleaned it right up. I mean, I don't know if you saw it before, but yeah, you did. You've been watching this video, so you saw it. So that got rid of most of the grime, and now I can clean it up with soapy water. But yeah, that's the ticket for that. Don't sit there and try to scrub it. I mean, I just got all I succeeded in doing is making my toothbrush really dirty. That was a waste. Okay, that is super clean now. Now I'm going to hit it with the sudsy soapy water, clean around it, and then I'm going to use the RTV, and we're going to call it good. So I think that turned out pretty good. I put a pretty nice bead around the lip of the tank, and then on the underside of the sensor, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to let it set up and not disturb it, so I'm going to let it sit for a while, and hopefully that'll be a good seal. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. I think I was kind of happy the way that turned out compared to some others that I've seen, how ugly it looked, but that looks good. Wanted to add this because I had to futz with this for a while and I couldn't figure it out. So this tray that goes under there, it goes up and around to this top bolt, and the tail light goes to this nut, or this nut here. And so this has a little notch in it that goes onto this metal piece, and then so it kind of, you have to work it around this little eyelet here to get it there, but that's how it goes. And then this hose goes up under the tail light as well, and it comes up to this tray. It's a vent, or it's not necessarily a vent, it's a drain in case you spill oil or gas in there. Runs down here and then out the back. It's kind of cool. Anyway, I wanted to show that. Same thing on this side. This one goes here, and the tail light goes to the lower one. Yeah, that took me about 20 minutes to figure out because I didn't videotape it or remember. It was driving me crazy. Can't see it real good on that side, but maybe again over here. I think it looks way better. Yeah, see how those line up? That's the top one. That lip touches that one, just like that.